What's up, man?
Just waiting.
You
I've
got the
been
whammy ticker?
I've been here like for 3 hours ahead of time with my pen. I'm
Just
so
getting
jazzed
ready
up
for
for
the whammy ticker.
Whammy Wednesdays.
Welcome to Whammy Wednesday.
Yes, I'll be your host.
Your host for the Whammy Wednesday is Nick Smith, and I.
Wounds Nick and Phil Cardinelli.
Well,
What's
what's
going
happening,
on?
man?
What's
Anything
going on,
good?
everybody? Everything good in the world?
Yeah,
Everything
can't complain.
copacetic? How was your Labor Day?
Labor Day was good. We had some heavy rains.
Torrential
Uh,
downpour?
yeah, we did. We had on Sunday especially, but Monday was okay. It
Hmm.
only rained a little, which is okay. We need it because then they don't have to complain about the drought. We live in a desert, and people complain about the drought. We live in the middle of a desert.
What was that Sam Kinison skit where he's like, I know
Yeah,
how to end world hunger right away?
yeah. Move to where the food is.
Move to where you live in a desert.
Don't send
Nothing's
them
gonna grow
food.
here.
Don't send them food. Send them U-Hauls and
I can't.
luggage.
I can't do the scream online. It's too loud.
He was loud. So
Yeah,
anyway, we got some good stuff to talk about today. I did some research. I think we talked about this once before on one of our podcasts.
that's okay. We can talk about it again because
Yeah,
the great topics of bowling cycle through. When we're
absolutely. And there's nothing
when we're
wrong with this
bored,
topic.
we're bored talking about urethane for a week, so we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna
Yep.
talk about
Yeah.
handicap,
Yep.
and then next week we'll get back on our regularly scheduled urethane topics and talk
Probably
about that
will.
all over again.
Well, we're due to hear from them on what their decisions are. So
Hmm.
I'm sure we'll have something to talk about. They always come out with this stuff after the show because they know if they put it on, should be a topic.
Yep, I'm sure that there will be, something at
There'll be some
401.
discussions. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh
Anyway,
man,
I have some news.
that's great. News is all right.
Yeah, then we'll get into some of the discussion about handicapping, not the horse kind.
Not the horse kind,
No.
not the kind with horses.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do the wheel. Let's talk about the woo box.
Oh yeah.
Woo box goes up, your name goes in it. If you're a staffer, don't do it because you'll get whammied from staff.
Yeah, that's gonna
Um,
be a harder whammy to
yeah, it's a
swallow.
lot harder whammy than just a green tick mark. Put your name in, and in about an hour, the woo box closes, and Nick will pick a winner. You'll have 90 seconds to let us know you're in the show. Try to be a little more prompt. And then
We're gonna cut it down to 68
I'm
seconds.
telling you, it's taking forever. And then we're going to spin that wheel. And, you spin the wheel and you get a prize. And if you like the prize, you say, I'll keep it. And if you don't like it, you say, no, I want to try for something else. Like last week, it was an interesting week. We had a contestant win a pair of shoes.
Oh, he
It's
had the option to
$200
win.
pair of shoes.
He had an
Option
option
to-
to pay.
Yeah, he said, no. I have shoes. Let's
Spin
spin
again.
again. And he got whammied.
He got a grip sack.
He got a grip sack. He
That's
did
as
get a
good
grip-
as that's as good as a whammy. That was your only whammy back in the day when we
that was
only had whammies.
exactly. So
or
then he
not
got a grip
whammies.
sack. It's a nice grip sack. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and to be fair, okay, so he emailed back after I sent him the win
Yeah.
notice, and
said
he
to
said,
take your
he
grip
had plenty of pair of shoes. He just got another pair of shoes or whatever. But we have to give grace in certain times because he actually said he's 84 years old. He watches our show.
Okay.
So that's why
Okay.
it took him so long to chime in and say he was here.
All right. I didn't know that.
Hey, so that's what it is. He was 84 and he got in there and he said he was here. So we're all good.
Yeah, we're good. I
But-
apologize for my last comment about trying to get in there a little quicker.
Yeah.
But,
It's just you got to figure that the people that watch our show sometimes could be older than you are. So I know what I deal with.
Possible. It's true. But
Yeah.
but 80, it's too bad that he, should have just kept the shoes.
Could have got him as a gift. Hey, Rudy's in the chat. Saw Rudy. Rudy Revs in the chat. What up, Rudy? All right, so here's a practice spin. What are you gonna pick?
I'm gonna pick whammy because I think we're gonna go whammy today.
Wow, that's rude.
Yeah, well,
I think grip sack's gonna start coming up hot again. I think after last week's.
did you move the magnets
spin.
around again?
Yeah, I moved the magnets around, and I feel like that the whammy's gonna get hot. So I'm sorry, the grip sack's gonna get hot.
Hot. All right. Well, maybe we'll have
So-
double grip sack, whammy.
About to find
I'm
out.
ready. So Let's see what we come up with. Here it comes. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it.
Oh, shirt.
Ooh.
Almost got to the whammy.
Almost got to the Miguel Whammy.
He's in the chat too. I saw him.
Yeah, he's a regular.
He's a regular.
Or irregular.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's do you want to do the news and or you
Love
want
to
to
do
chat? What do you want to do?
Let's do the news. Let's get on with it.
I saw Otani hit a home run last night, 120 miles an hour off the bat.
That's
It's
pretty
unbelievable.
fast. Yeah, and they lost to another team under 500. Good job,
Yeah.
Dodgers.
The Yankees had a good night against the Cheatstros.
Nice.
So just talk real quick about that. I was watching we were bowling last night. I was watching the game. So they got the bases loaded, 2 out. Trent Grissom's up, and the catcher and the pitcher are having a little bit of a discussion on what to throw.
A
Spat, and apparently he throws the pitch, and Trent hits a grand slam. Now that was probably not the pitch that I guess is Frommer is his name. Fromber, whatever his name is, didn't want to throw. So he's in disgust at this point. And that just blew the game wide open. You know, it was 3-1 at the time. Now it's 7-1 or 6-1. It becomes 6-1. It was 2-1. Well, 2-0 at the time, or 2-1. Anyhow, it's 7-1 now. And on the very next batter, he throws a pitch and he drills his catcher, crosses him up. So afterwards, at the press conference, the catcher says, "No, we had some miscommunication, which the pitch comm." All right, well, I ain't buying that too much because the catcher hears it and the pitcher hears it. So if you pressed
in their head,
you pressed change up.
Actually,
You both
I don't know if
change
that's
up.
true. I don't know if because the catcher doesn't wear a hat, so I don't know if they have the same thing
Got
in
the
there.
thing in his ear. He's got the thing in his
He
ear.
got the earpiece. That's
yeah, the
right.
earpiece. Yeah,
that's right.
Like this,
Yeah.
except it's
Yeah.
not connected to a microphone.
Yeah, because the pitcher doesn't have an earpiece.
No,
he
he's got
has
the thing in his hat.
The speaker in his hat, and
Yeah.
sometimes infielders have it too.
Right, they do. The second baseman and the shortstop, and I think the center fielder or somebody.
I remember when they first had that a year ago or 2 years ago. I don't remember when the first time, but when they mic up players for ESPN or whatever on field, and they talk to them during the game.
Yeah,
you could actually hear from Hernandez, our third baseman at the time. You could hear fastball. You know,
oh, really? Because
on the
thing.
because his mic was like mic'd up wherever.
Yeah, that's not good. Talk about tipping a pitch.
he's like, "Hey, can you hear that?" And they're like, "Hear what?"
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, he says he pressed the button, and they got crossed up. Anyhow, he gets drilled with a fastball. The catcher gets drilled.
Oops.
And as soon as he did it, the pitch turned around, was staring out in the outfield, wouldn't even look in. So I'd be a little concerned about that if I were other teammates.
All right.
But that's the Astros.
That's enough for baseball news. Let's go to bowling news. You ready?
Let's go to bowling. I'm ready.
It's the Striking News. Bowling news and views from around the world with your hosts, Brunsnick and Phil Cardinelli. It's the Striking News.
The Striking News.
And now the news. So I was on the PBA website, and there still is no TV schedule for next year.
Mm-hmm. Weird, right?
I mean, we're going into September. We're in September.
Yeah.
Contracts are becoming up.
It's like when colleges give out group projects.
Yeah.
And it comes time to do the work, and they're just waiting, and they're gonna have an all-night cram sesh the night before it's due.
I'm telling you. So we don't know anything. I mean, I don't even know if there's an exempt tour.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Well,
makes it very interesting because pretty soon we're gonna have to sign staff, renew
absolutely,
staff.
And decide what we're going to pay them and how many shows and where and whatnot, right? I do know they're going to have the World Series on CBS Sports.
Ooh.
I do know that.
That's exciting.
I don't have any dates, So
Nobody has dates.
I don't even know where it's going to be this year. The World Series. Will it be back in Reno? One whole month in Reno again?
Maybe they need some more money. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
right.
gonna make him. We're gonna make him stay 6 weeks this time. Let's go 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and make them stay at the hotel where they can't even
Golly.
save money. God
Right.
help me. Anyhow, so we had a bunch of regional winners this last week. Pretty strong. Blaine Weninger,
Blaine the
PBA
brain.
50. That's not his name?
Blaine the brain.
That's his name. PBA 50, Northwest Striking Fall Classic.
Strikers.
Strikers Fall Classic, right.
See, in the Northwest, especially Washington State. It's already fall. People say, oh, it's not fall, it's still summer. It's like, well, you haven't been to Washington State.
Yeah, in Washington State. The leaves have
Yeah.
changed or whatever.
Yeah, it's already torrential downpour every day. It's cold, rainy. Every
Beautiful.
single day is there. They don't have seasons there.
In that same tournament, in the junior division, Chris Tuluski won the junior version. I'm killing these names, aren't I?
You are absolutely. You could have been a butcher.
I am.
Tuholsky.
Chris and Blaine both won this week.
That's right.
Yeah. And then John.
Go on. Butcher it up.
Nero?
Huh?
Nero? I think that's it. No? Maybe. PBA 50 East Hammer Strike Zone Open.
First regional title.
For
He said
him,
first regional title out of the East. I don't know if that means he has titles in other regions or if that's
right.
just his first regional, but either way, congrats.
Right, exactly. And then the doubles tournament, Connor Bremen and Dan Knowlton
It's a good
won the Rocky Mountain, Virginia, South Region doubles.
There you go. That's a good.
So that's pretty cool.
It's a good senior partner to have right there, Dan Knowlton.
Yeah, he's good. Yep. And so is Chris.
Yes, he is.
Good bowlers. The other guys are good bowlers. Apparently, they're winning. So this week, let me tell you what happened this week. Astro Bowl had the trios tournament. It's really popular down here. They usually have it where it's 3 guys, you have a max handicap. If you have 2 guys and a girl, is no max. And you bowl every game is match play.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you change pairs, you bowl different teams, and as you win, it's every game is match play. Anyhow, it's set. Friday. I went up to the shop to fiddle around with my black hammer, change surface on it, play around with it a little bit, try to learn some stuff about the urethanes, and Seth drilled up his new Snapshot hybrid.
Hey,
you remember Seth, Lord of the Zings, Seth
Squatch.
Seth Squatch. Anyhow, 7 games, he shoots 2 300s with it.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a heater.
Yeah, he did well. His team sucked.
Why, were you bowling with him?
No. All I know is midway through the team, Jeff Hartsfield was on his team, and so was Pete Caliendo. Nice guy, Pete. Yankee fan. Anyhow, I told him, send me some updates. I'm at home watching some baseball and everything. So I get an update. Seth just bowled 300. He's won all his match points. Pete and I suck. That's what the text was. So Seth bowled well, did all his games. And then Brian Hoffman. I don't know if you guys remember Brian Hoffman. He's my buddy down here that I give balls to. He's very loyal to us.
Shot that big series over at the
military. 23 something, and he's in second.
Was it the handicap?
Yeah. His was scratch.
Oh.
He's in second. He shot 877.
Yeah.
With the power hitter. Anyhow, he bowled 7 games. He averaged 257. He's been on fire. So fire. So that's the news.
And in other news, that is the news.
It's
great news.
Talk a little bit today about handicapping, not the horses.
No, because that would be a longer show.
It would be. There's a lot more to that than it was years ago.
Is it though?
Yeah, you know what? They have more analytics now for the horses too.
Really?
And the part they don't remember is the horse has to feel like running that day.
So how do they know that? How do the
They don't know
insiders
that. Not like a baseball player. How do you feel? I'm a little under the weather. You
Yeah.
gotta,
Gotta
so,
know if the horse is
yeah.
drained from the night before activity, or if it got beer.
Did I ever tell you I worked? I ever tell you I worked at the racetrack when I was a kid?
No. I mean, maybe you did, but I don't remember.
Pretty good story. So I worked for a trainer, W.A. Kelly. He was trained at Aqueduct, and his assistant trainer lived around the corner, or next door to me in Brooklyn. So he said, I get you summer job. You come down, you work, you can walk the horses when they come off the track, and do stuff around the barn, just stuff that can use help. So I go to work, and he wake me up like at 4:30 in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, pick me up, we go to the track, right? So I worked the whole summer, every morning, not weekends though. I would only work during the week, I don't know why I didn't work on the weekend, but I did. Anyhow, so I make some money. So they get this horse shipped in that they buy, and they had two horses. One horse, and one horse was called Open Book, was the name of the horse. The other one was Peony. I never forget the two horses. So Peony comes in, and the horse was nasty.
What do you mean nasty? Mean?
Yeah, mean. The horse was mean.
Okay.
So he comes off the track from the workout, and I'm walking him around, and he's nasty.
Biting
so I
at
take
you?
He's what?
Biting at you?
Yeah. So I take the bridle, the chain that goes over his nose, and I put it over his tongue. This way, when I'm gonna yank on it. So I did that, and he bit me.
Good.
He bit me like on the leg.
Show you.
So this other horse, they get in Open Book. The horse comes in, he's shipped in from somewhere. And I think it was an international horse. It must have been. And he always ran the opposite way.
Oh, no. Maybe it was an Australian horse.
Yeah. So, no, I think that wherever he was, he ran the opposite way.
The water drains one
way.
Yeah,
exactly. So you got to train him to run the right way. This horse is a nut. I mean, he's all over the track, running sideways. Brutal. So they finally get him straightened out, and he's fast as lightning, this horse. He's like, I'm telling you, the horse is grease lightning. And one of the scam things they used to do is, because in the racing form, when a horse has a workout, they put it on there what his workout was. So you could handicap the horse, right? Mm-hmm. He ran 3 furlongs from the gate, 3 furlongs greasing, 4 furlongs workout, right? But they would never put him on the track for a workout. They would put him as the other horse. So we're going to race Seabiscuit, and this is going to be out horse. So his time's not going to be clocked. So the horse shows up with no workouts. Right? We're going to race him in this race. And this horse is fantastic. So I bet half the money I won, I worked for in the summer on this race. And he's so I'm at the barns, and the barn's right where the starting gate is. So I'm sitting there right at the starting gate, and he's the outside horse. The gate opens up, out comes the horse, no jockey.
What?
He bucked the jockey off in the gate.
Oh, there goes your summer allowance.
Half the money I made that summer went down the tubes. But I got it back because the next time he ran, he won. So I got my money back.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was, like the gate opens up and your horse comes out without a jockey on it, and the jockey's hanging in the gate. Anyway,
let's talk about the real handicapping now.
So let's talk about some real handicap.
I'm going to post the Woo Box one more time before we get into this.
Yeah, you guys know what to do with that. Put your name in the Woo Box, and later on we're going to
pick a winner.
Somebody. So I'm talking about some handicapping. So now, with leagues starting up and tournaments starting to come, and everybody complains about handicapping.
A lot of people do.
How many, the pins everybody's getting. So here's one of the biggest problems I always have. And I was talking to the guys at dinner last night at the bowling center. How do you complain about handicap in a handicap tournament?
I mean, nobody forced you to bowl, right?
Nobody forced you to bowl. Mm-hmm. So people that bowl in a handicap, that are handicapped, getting handicapped, supposed to get pins. So everybody says, well, it's too many pins. So I went and did some analysis and went and looked at some of the studies that were done. And USBC did a good one a while back on handicap. And I'm sure we'll get into a pretty good discussion about this as we go. But Um, what's the right number? And here's my big. I'm going to say this right now. We get it out of the way. I'm not going to talk about sandbagging right now. We'll talk about that later. It exists. We know it exists. But if you ran a scratch tournament, Nick, how many bowlers would, on average, you think show up? You bowled in some up in Muskegon, right?
Yeah, we'll get
How many?
35.
35 bowlers. That's all you get.
There's really only one scratch tournament.
Yeah. Okay, so you should get more because they don't have anything to bowl in. You should get hundreds.
You would
of
think.
bowlers.
You would think.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also another reason why they don't show up to bowl that.
Why?
It's not on the house shot.
So now you got scratch bowlers that are even more particular about it. I'll only bowl if it's in a certain house on a certain shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So when you run a handicap tournament, how many bowlers they get? 100?
Usually when they run handicap tournaments here, they're team events.
Okay.
5-person team events usually.
Yeah.
And they fill up the entire 50 lanes.
And they fill up the whole place.
Yeah.
So people like to bowl handicap tournaments, but they don't like to give handicap. Pretty much, right?
Say that one more time.
People like to bowl handicap tournaments, but they don't like to give handicap.
I suppose.
Okay. So let's go to the first slide for the hell of it. This is the math of it all. So according to the USBC, they did their own study. No standard handicap percentage, 75, 80, or 90% provides a perfectly fair 50-50 chance to all bowlers. So what they're saying is, no matter what we've come up with, it's not perfectly fair. 100% handicap would also not achieve perfect equity. So they're even saying if we gave 100% handicap out, there's not a coin flip that a scratch bowler or a handicap bowler would win. It's not 50-50. Mm-hmm. It still leads towards the scratch bowler winning, even at 100%. So they did some more studies, and they came up that 116% handicap would be required to make the handicap fair. If you put that on a flyer that the handicap is 116%
of 220,
of 220, okay, no scratch bowlers would bowl, right? So probably you'd have the same amount of entries you would have had of handicap bowlers, but you're not going to have any scratch bowlers.
Well, it depends what the 116 is off of. I mean, if it's off of 200, then I'm getting handicap, right?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm getting spotted pins. I mean, if it's off of the highest average,
yes,
116.
Well, that's what they're saying. It should be 116% of the highest average.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow.
That's a tough one to swallow. Okay. So the goal of the handicap is to place bowlers in the different skill levels on an equal footing for competition. We want it to be fair for everybody to win. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not perfect equity. Even 100% handicap favors the higher average bowler. This is according to their study. And they still have an advantage when bowling well.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple math. I mean, if you have a whole set of teams that average, like 5-person team that average 220 each on the nose.
Right.
And you make it 90% of 220.
Right.
As the handicap, and the rest of the league averages whatever, they could average 190, 200,
whatever. They can't win.
They
if
can't
you shoot
win
your average,
long-term.
you can't win. Right, exactly.
Can't win.
So how is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not fair. They just said
It's not fair. Go to the next page. Lower percentages, 75 to 80, benefit higher skill players by giving them less of a handicap. Okay. Higher percentages give more handicap to lower skill bowlers, still don't provide parity. 116 is the ideal number. Okay. That would be needed to theoretically distribute the championship equally. So it would be 116% of the highest bowler. So if a guy's a 200 average, a 220 average, bowling a 180 average, that's 40 pins a game times 1.16 equals 46 pins a game he would have to get. And then that would make it equal.
To make it fair.
To make it equal.
Equal.
So now I'm going to punch a little hole in this because this is where I find that there's maybe some logic you have to apply, common sense. So if you're bowling on a house shot, I would say that applies.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Yeah. Now, if you're bowling on a challenge shot, this is, I know I'm going to say this, it's going to sound like an idiot when I say it, but I'm going to say it. The better bowler is more penalized on a house shot than a lower average bowler, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. Does a 160 average bowler get the benefit of a house shot that a 220 average bowler gets?
You're asking me if they get the benefit?
Yeah.
No, they're not as accurate, so it doesn't.
Right. So it doesn't matter, right?
Now, it doesn't matter as much. They can still get hot. Right?
Sure, they can. But if it's a tricky pattern, who's impacted more?
Oh, the high end bowler.
The high end bowler. Yeah. So I think when you have a challenge shot, you can adjust that. But on a typical house shot league night, 116% is, according to the math that they did in their study, is the only way that could be fair for everyone. So the difficulty of the shot has to get factored in.
I think so too, because when you bowl city state tournament, it's very rare that they put out the typical house shot,
right,
for whatever center it's at.
Right.
It's always some modified version or heavier oil or whatever they want to do for the city or state.
Right.
But you're coming in based on your house book.
Exactly. That's
average.
Exactly right. That's right. I agree with that 100%. So in that case, you probably have to have some type of factor built in. But, on your league night where you guy bowled, X amount of weeks and your averages are established, 116% is what makes it where it'll be a 50-50 split. So,
yeah.
I'm not sure we're going to get a lot of people agreeing with me on this. But
I mean, there's chat going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. And we'll get to it.
Yep.
All right, let's go to the next one. While not perfect, 100% handicap is a common and recommended baseline for achieve more equalized matches. Okay, here's the negative handicaps. So leagues can adopt the rules of negative handicap for a bowler with averages above a certain base to further level the field. And I'll give you an example. If the league is handicapped on 210, a guy on 220 is actually getting pins.
Yeah, exactly. When I first started at Pincrest at the House of Pain, it was 90% of 200. And I was the first bowler, I think, really to come in and average above that by any, there were some 2-0s and maybe a 210 maybe. But I was one of the first to come in there and average 220. Then we got a team in there that had a couple of 220 average. And then after that season, during the the annual meeting at the end and the banquet, I proposed, I'm like, hey, we need to change the handicap to make it fair for everybody. And I explained, I'm like, look, every time I come into the building and bowl, and we're basing it 90% of 200. So say you have a 190 bowler, right? And you're going up against me that has a 220 average, right?
Right.
You're spotting me more than 20 pins a game.
Exactly.
Before we even throw a shot.
Exactly right. Right.
So
if you bowl your average and he bowls his average, you win.
We win.
He has to bowl, and I did the calculations. We'll see that later on. But he has to bowl X% better than he normally bowls in order to be competitive with you only bowling what you normally bowl.
Right.
So it's really not fair.
Yeah. So once we had enough bowlers in there that were over that threshold, it's like, well, we got to change the handicap. So
right.
And, there was no real pushback. And the explanation was simple as that. It's like, it shouldn't be unfair and we shouldn't be able to stack teams because, this is a fun league. There's some competition. People like to have fun.
Right.
But let's make it fair and more fair because, it wasn't on that point. Like our team was kind of handling things for a little while, especially when I got hot.
Yeah.
Because it's just hard to keep up long term.
So do you think, just throw this out there, rather than have handicap leagues, have scratch leagues with caps?
Yeah. Could do
So if you have a 4-man team and you make the cap, I don't know, 800.
It's high for us, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, right? And then it's a scratch league.
Yeah.
Because the cap is what made the league control the league, the cap.
Yeah, that's another way to do it. The only problem is there's such a disparity between our lowest averaging team,
right,
and our highest averaging team.
Right. So your team would have to break up.
Teams would have to break up, and
Right.
people have been bowling together for
I agree with that.
long time in there.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
Right.
not. I don't see that feasible there, just because of the size of the league and the type of league it is.
Yeah.
But in a different type setting, you can easily go scratch and make it, if you wanted to get people into like more competitive bowling.
Right.
Yeah, you make it scratch, and then you make it a low cap, so that you
Yep.
have to find bowlers that are, obviously looking to improve.
Yeah, and that's how we did that for years when I lived in Long Island. My buddy Joey and I bowled together forever, and we bowled in a 3-man league. We would always try to find a guy that we was like 170, and we thought we can get him to 180.
Yeah. The problem over time is that the teams have to split up and remanage themselves so often, because, say
Absolutely.
you bring in that low guy,
Yeah.
and he improves over the year, because that's usually what happens is,
Right.
if you're bowling in a more competitive league, you're going to get better.
Yeah.
For the most part, if you really apply
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Then all of a sudden your team doesn't fit anymore next year.
Right. But that's why we had Joey and I with the core, and we got a different guy every year.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, eventually the well is going to dry up, and where does that other guy go?
Absolutely. Well, he went to another team that needed a guy with that number.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's one way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other fun thing we used to do in juniors, there was a league called Greater LA Junior All-Stars, and it was a draft league. It was exclusive.
That's pretty cool.
You had to get drafted.
Right.
And there was no set. There was people in the pool, but there was no guarantee that anybody was going to get on a team. There's always usually like 10 or 12 teams, or I think at the most they had 16 or something like that.
Right.
Trios. That was it. And, the previous year, the highest 12 captains would be the drafters. They would be the ones that picked their teams.
Yeah.
And it would start with the lowest average from the previous year, and they would pick first. And then it would go up the list until the last pick, the highest average, got their first pick. But then they had the first pick on the way back down. So they had two picks in a row. And then
right.
Yeah, so that went that way. Actually, no, I take that back. They re-added the averages after the first round.
Oh, so then it went back again. I see. That's perfect. That's the perfect way to do it.
They re-added the averages, and then the lowest picked first. So there was some strategy involved with your first pick and what order you picked in. So
this is all good for league.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you fix the tournament problem?
That's a whole different can of worms. That's a whole different thing.
Right. So let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
Here's an example. Scenario 1, 80% of 220. You see that a lot for tournaments, especially.
Tournaments.
Yeah. 80% of 220. So the 180 average bowler gets 80% of 40 pins. He gets 36 pins a game. Both players shoot their average. 220 average shoots 660.
Is that math
the 180
right?
average shoots 540. The what?
Is that math right?
What'd I do wrong?
I'm just asking, is the math right?
Yeah, it's 36 times 3.
Shouldn't it be eight less than 40?
Oh, you're right. I added wrong. I did it. You're right. I did it wrong. It's 32.
You had one job.
I had one job. So it's worse.
So
this becomes
32.
worse.
Yeah, it becomes worse.
It becomes worse. So 32 pins a game. He gets 96 pins a game.
90 series.
A series. Right. So he shoots 540.
So 636.
It's 96. It's 636. Minus 660. He loses by 24 pins.
If they both bowl their average.
If they both bowl their average.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you take the 540 minus the 660 divided by 540. So the lower average bowler has to bowl a little more than 2% higher, better to be competitive. So he has to improve. The other guy can bowl 2% worse and still win.
Mm-hmm.
Yet people complain when the handicap bowler wins. Look how many pins he got.
Yeah, especially when that 180 average, who's getting 32 pins a game,
right?
Shoots, say 279, has a great game.
Okay, go ahead.
And what did they just shoot with handicap?
He shot how many pins over his average? How many pins over his average? You can't flip it. You see what you're doing there is
279 plus 32 is 3
Yeah, I know what it is. But what you're telling me, you're flipping it. You're saying you can't have it both ways. If he bowled how many pins above his average?
Yeah.
Okay, so for him to shoot 279, he's 180, right? He shot 99 pins over his average.
Okay. But it's not even possible for player A to shoot 79 pins over his average.
He can't shoot 99 pins over
99 pins.
That's correct. Sorry. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. I don't disagree with that. But he can't be penalized. So you're saying they should never have a score above 300.
I can't say that because, I mean, the handicap's based off of the average. It's not.
And you know what the name of the tournament is? A handicap tournament.
Yeah.
So if you're a scratch bowler and you don't like the rules,
don't get in.
Don't bowl.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what I do. I don't bowl handicap events.
There you go. Right. So
I know I have no chance.
You do have a chance. You have a better chance of winning. I just proved it to you.
Well, here's the issue. So a lot of them are team events, right? There's no singles. There's no singles handicap events around.
Okay.
Most all of them are some form of team event.
Okay.
And there is a doubles event, but it's a best ball event. So best ball is completely different, and they handicap it different. They only handicap it off of like first you're capped at 425. You can't have a team higher than 425. And then the handicap is 35% of the 425. So 35% of the 425, because with best ball, you basically get a mulligan, and so it's not even the same game.
Exactly
My contention is there shouldn't be any handicap on a best ball event, because if you got a cap, you can't have handicap either.
So, but it's not an alternate shot. You can use whichever ball is the best ball.
Well, no, you alternate shot, but if that player A doesn't strike, player B can get on the right lane.
That's what I mean. So it's the best shot. So it doesn't matter how bad the guy's average is. Now, the reason you would team up with him is so you can get handicap. And that's not fair.
The only way I could possibly win that event when I come in at 220 something, right, is to find a bowler that basically is irrelevant. The average is like 100, right?
Yeah,
so I can get the most. So I can get the most
Absolutely.
amount of handicap because they're going to be using my shots the majority all the time.
Why does anybody bowl that tournament then?
For fun. I don't have
fun. I got it. No, you're right. In a case like that, the tournament itself has a flaw, because you're letting the other guy throw his shot no matter what. The better bowler still gets to throw his shot no matter what.
It's handicapping, even if it's a lower percentage. It's handicapping off of a completely different game. It's handicapping off of a full game that you're bowling all on your own.
Basically, you're giving the high average bowler pins. You're getting the handicap of what the other player got.
Not necessarily, because if I come in 225 and I grab a 200 average bowler.
No, but if you grab a 150 average bowler, you're going to throw all the shots anyway.
For the most part, yeah. But I'm not getting enough pins as other teams.
Right.
Because that would only be if I grabbed a 150 average bowler. Okay, let's run that scenario. It's 375.
Yeah.
So that means 35% of 50.
Yeah.
Right. Or whatever the number is, 50. Yeah. So I don't know the math there. Call it 17 pins, 16 pins, 15 pins, somewhere in there.
Yeah, right. 35% of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's teams that are going to get more pins than that.
Yeah, you get 18 pins. Right.
Right. So that means that, and I bowl these tournaments, it takes, in a 3-game set for the best ball, it takes 815
Right.
to make the cut. That's just how it is. Because say I do take all the shots. Say I do take the shots. I can only, in that format, I can only miss once per game.
No, you're right. Mathematically,
it's
a bad tournament mathematically.
I can only miss once.
Right.
Per game. And I've shown historically through all my videos and all my bowling, I miss way more than once per game.
Exactly.
I understand.
I understand.
So
let's go to the next slide if you can.
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the formatting here. So let's talk about scenario number 2. 80% of 220.
So this is also 32 pins.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. 32 pins. So the average, the A bowler gets 690, and the B bowler gets 540. Plus, it's less than that.
92.
96 pins. So he's got 96 and 540. 636. So right now he's 24 pins. No, 24. I'm sorry. 44 pins. 54 pins behind the player. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, he loses by 54 pins. So he's basically giving the player back his handicap, part of his handicap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So player B,
he's 10 pin over the cap, plus it's only 80%. Yeah.
Right.
Huge disparity.
So he's only getting 22 pins a game instead of 32.
Yeah.
Right. On this scenario. So he has to improve by over 7%. He's got to bowl 7% better than his average to have a chance. Yet most of the tournaments you bowl in say it's 80% of 220.
I don't know, because I don't bowl any of them.
Well, not you. You.
Not all you.
Right. So anybody averaging over 220 has a huge advantage. Now, again, the scratch players complain about it because they're saying, oh, the guy's getting, look at all the pins the guy's getting. Well, wait a second. You're actually getting pins in that case.
Well, these scenarios all assume that this 180 average player is legit.
I didn't get to that yet. I said we're not going to talk about sandbagging yet.
I know. I'm just saying that this is all assuming this is all in the up and up. This is a true 180 average player.
That's all we're talking about. We're talking about numbers.
But the reality is that the numbers
we'll get to that
are fudged.
I promise we will get to that. But here's the problem. These are the accepted norms.
Yeah.
I don't get it. How is that accepted norm that you're already going in there giving away? And here's the other part. What percentage of a handicap tournament are handicap bowlers?
I don't know.
90?
It's got to be enough. Yeah. I would say that's probably a number.
90% of the bowlers are being cheated out of the pins. It should be the other way around. It should be that the 10% bowlers.
If it's a singles event.
That's all I'm talking about, a single tournament right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now, what you're telling me is that in a tournament that has to cater to 90% of his bowlers, they're favoring the 10%.
Mm-hmm. In a singles event, sure.
I'm sorry?
In singles.
In singles, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go to the next slide. This is even worse. And I've seen this, and then I'll justify it in a second.
Did you get the math right on this one?
I don't know. Probably not.
No.
I didn't? Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a maximum handicap is 20 pins. So for 180 bowler, maximum it's 80% of 210 with a maximum of 20 pins.
That's the most you can give anybody?
Yes. I've just read a flyer with that.
Oh, geez. I've never heard of this. Okay, go on.
Okay, so the flyer said 80% of 210, maximum 20 pins. Okay, so he can't beat anybody in this tournament, right? So he needs to do 5% better than he normally bowls just to compete with a 210 average, and 10% better to compete with the 20% average. Now, the only time this here should be applicable if it's on a sports shot.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so if you want to make this if you're trying to eliminate, say, baggers, one, and you're trying to eliminate...
You keep bringing up baggers. We're not up to the baggers yet.
Calm down.
Okay.
If you want to eliminate the threat of, that, and also the pro-type house bowler that wants to just rake in, right?
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
This scenario, you make it, okay, it's a 210 cap. If you're over 210, you're not allowed to bowl.
Exactly.
You're not allowed to bowl. And
right.
If you're under, fine. But
they don't cap it.
They never cap it.
Right. I wouldn't have a problem with it if they said, and they can't do it for the tournament unless you have your averages in ahead of time, we're going to base it off the highest average guy. The highest average guy gets 0, and we'll base it from that. Or you pick a number that is not attainable and handicap everybody off of that.
Base it off of 300.
Well, whatever. Yeah, but even 250 if that's the number, right?
100% of 300. There you go.
Exactly.
But that doesn't solve anything.
If you went 100% off of 300, that would be the closest you get to being fair.
On paper.
On paper.
Because you're still not considering the X factor there, which you don't want to talk about yet.
Well, I don't even have another slide. But
you don't?
Now, no, I don't have another slide.
Oh, good.
So now we'll talk about the X factor.
All right, let's talk about the X factor.
So the X factor, and what people always complain about, is the guy that's a sandbagger. There's a 160 average bowler, getting handicapped, goes up to the bracket table and says all.
Yeah.
How do you fix that problem? Well, you eliminate the amount of brackets they can get in.
You either cap the amount of brackets they get in,
right?
Or
but
you minimize the top prize anybody can win.
Okay, so again, now we're back to, because there are a few bad apples.
Why do you think people sandbag for the sake of, I'm just going to sandbag? It's fun.
No. We know why they sandbag.
We know why. There's only one reason why.
But there's no penalty.
I mean, there used to be a penalty back in the day, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What was that penalty back then?
Well, a lot of
in the action days.
In the action days, there was a big penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it spent a couple of days in a hospital type penalty.
Yeah.
That would discourage you, believe me, from doing it. But there is no discouragement. Okay, we'll re-rate you. To what? An arbitrary number that the tournament director picked?
Whatever they want.
No, that's what I'm talking about. It's an arbitrary number. The tournament director
has final say. It's like, I know who you are.
If you do. Okay, so now there's an organization that was running tournaments, and I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to drag anybody through the mud, where people were showing up with USB-C cards that were not that person.
Yeah, that's fraud. That's fraud.
That's fraud. Yeah. That's right. So they show up and they say, "This is me. I'm number 237, blah blah blah, -8."
Yeah. When have you ever showed your ID at a tournament other than the USB-C Open?
Exactly. And then you go and they look you up in the book and you're 178.
Yep, that's me.
But you're really Joe Pro sandbagger from. You're not even a sandbag. You're
Joey Pro from Staten Island, and you just came in with Tommy Two Finger.
Yeah,
card
right from Brooklyn. And Tommy Two Finger is 167, and you're Joey Pro from Staten Island at 220.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go up to the bracket table and say all, and then you proceed to shoot 780.
Yeah.
On a house shot, right? Okay, so when I was playing, he would not be bowling anymore. It'd be pretty simple. But that's the problem. There's no penalty. It's not that the problem doesn't exist. A problem goes away when there's a penalty, right? The risk-reward factor has to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to risk it for that reward, what's the penalty? And all you hear is complaints, but no solutions. Then they give handicap tournaments a bad name, saying, "Oh, there's a bunch of sandbaggers." How many are there?
Yeah.
Is it half the field?
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
What do you think, chat? How often do you think sandbagging becomes an issue in these tournaments? And where do you see it the most? Is it just in your typical team tournaments, or are there lucrative opportunities for people to make, a side hustle living out of exploiting the rules by bowling not to their best ability in league on purpose, averaging 170, 180, whatever the number is, I don't care, and then going to travel these tournaments and bowl for the bigger money, and all of a sudden always seem to show up and bowl really, really well above their average.
I have a quick opinion on this before you. I think the biggest problem is brackets.
That ruined a lot of scratch leagues in California.
That's where sandbagging comes into play.
But we had scratch brackets. We had scratch leagues.
I understand.
But the thing is, with brackets, you always had guys that swept. Almost every other week, it was certain guys won most of the money.
But if it's a scratch bracket, I don't care.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that it still killed the leagues because...
Oh, absolutely. No, I don't disagree with that.
You're spending $30 on league fees and you're putting in $200 in brackets,
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. But if you have a scratch bracket, okay, then the handicap doesn't matter. Sandbaggers don't benefit. When you have handicap brackets and a lot of them in a big event, that's where you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's an example. Do you think we have sandbaggers at nationals? You can't, right? Your average is established. You can go bowl how many years to get your average down to 160 to bowl in the other division.
Yeah, you can do that, but it's going to immediately get your last 27 games and put you in whatever division for that tournament. So they have records of everything you bowled in. So if these tournament clubs said, hey, well, you're coming in at 180, but every time you bowl this tournament, your lifetime average is 217, we're going to re-rate you.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct. So if a tournament kept records and it was a tournament that ran monthly or whatever, you could fix that problem. It would happen in the beginning, but then it would go away.
Yeah, it would happen once.
Right, maybe twice. Yeah, right, exactly. Right. But the problem is there's no risk, right?
No, they could do it, and then they can go on to a different one if there's different tournaments available. They're going on to different ones.
Right.
Yeah, the fraud thing is one that I think happens probably a little bit more than people actually realize.
I agree.
Because how many times have you ever showed your ID card to verify?
I'm not going to mention it, but there was organization, we got out of being involved with them.
Yeah, you get a new face in there. All of a sudden, you've never seen this person
especially
before.
If you're running a what do they call it? Like the if it's a nationwide competitive tournament where different states are coming into bowl and so on and so forth. What's to stop the biggest not sandbagger, the biggest hustler on the planet getting a 170 average card from somebody and going in there under that person's name?
They don't know that person.
No, unless somebody else knows it. But usually the group travels together and they're all in cahoots.
Yeah,
I like that word, cahoots.
That's a good name.
It's a good name. It's a good word, cahoots.
Let's post the woo box one last time. What do we got? We got 5 minutes. You better get your entries in. Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
So I don't know if the solution, I think the brackets are a problem. If the brackets were scratch, you wouldn't have that problem. In league, there's some sandbagging that goes on in league. Don't get me wrong. But it's less likely to happen because once you get below that average, you're getting handicapped on a certain number. Maybe you can't drop past that number, or maybe there's a max. Our Tuesday night league has a maximum handicap.
Maximum handicap?
Yeah, it's 30 pins.
Wow.
So if you go below that, you're bowling on somebody else's dime.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll start my own handicap tournament circuit, singles.
Right. Yeah.
And I will have somebody run it for me, but we'll do an 80% of 210, on that list there.
Yeah.
And I'll shoe up and I'll just collect trophies.
That's what's happening. Now unless you run that on a sports shot. I don't have a problem with that.
The other thing is, like, if you ran a longer format, that would definitely make it harder for the lower average bowler to even have a chance to compete.
Exactly.
Like if you ran that best ball scenario like we talked about, instead of 3 games, you made it like 6 games or even 8, something like that, then it becomes a little bit more feasible because long term the numbers are going to play out.
Right.
That I'll have a better shot of it long term. But in a 3-game coin flip where I can miss 3 times, no, I think. No, but you give somebody long enough time to make a mistake, and you allow more transition on the lane.
Sure.
Then the higher skill player has more advantage.
Right. But again, when you go back to the tough sport shots, the person that gets penalized more is the better bowler on a sport shot.
What did you book last year? What did you book?
Oh, it was low. 180.
180? Okay, so I'm going to come to San Antonio. We're going to do it. You're going to find me a tournament to bowl, handicap. All right? I'm going to walk in there with your USB-C card and see if I get carded.
Would you use my name?
Yeah. We're going to go in cahoots. That's going to be our LLC.
Right. Yeah.
Cahoots LLC.
Right. So, and
yeah, I'm Phil Cardinelli. What?
Yeah, exactly. So the point of the matter is, though, the problem is that scratch bowlers complain about handicap bowlers getting handicapped.
They complain about sandbaggers abusing the system.
So they only complain about a part of the handicap system because the sandbagging part is what bothers them.
Right.
Don't bowl a handicap tournament.
Sometimes that's all there is because scratch bowling is kind of dead.
Why is scratch bowling dead? There are plenty of bowlers that average above 210. You know why? Because they can't steal from the group.
Well, I mean, they've been conditioned for their own house, their own center, and if they go anywhere else and have to bowl in a different house pattern,
there you go.
All of a sudden they shoot below their average, and they're going to have to explain to all their friends and family.
But on top of that, they have a big enough advantage with the handicap, 80% of, and they want to steal more. That's
an ego thing. They feel like, hey, I average this high. I've worked hard.
Yeah. Yep. If you had 100% handicap, 116% handicap, okay, and you only had a handicap tournament, you have to figure out who the sandbaggers are. That's never going to go away. But do you know what makes it go away? If there were no brackets, because the guy's not going to dump his average the whole year so you can bowl in a $400 tournament twice a year.
Yeah, you get rid of the incentive, the top end prize. Yeah,
but it's not the prize of the tournament. I'm telling you, it's not the money on top.
Yeah,
it's the brackets every squad
and the side pots, super side pots.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah,
that's where the problem is. It is not the prize money. Because how big could it be? It's $1,000. It's $2,000. The guy's going to get away with it once. But I'll tell you what, he'll bowl that tournament and never win it and make $400 or $500 a squad in brackets and bowl every single squad.
Yeah. But when you're bowling in those tournaments, they can re-rate you on those.
Absolutely. And it has to be policed. But you know what? Re-rating is one thing. You re-rate the person 10 more pins and then they stop. They don't. What if there was a bigger penalty?
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
What could you possibly do? Ban them from your tournament?
Maybe if they got caught sandbagging and they got thrown out of the USB-C.
That would be great. I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the reason. There's not enough policing of it.
Yeah.
And
the rules for sandbagging are such a gray area.
Sure, it is.
It's so subjective.
People sandbag legitimately. I say that because it sounds weird.
If I have a bad night and I chop like 4 spares and I only shoot 590, is that sandbagging?
What if you bowl in a house that it's unscorable?
That's the other thing. Not all houses are the same. Yeah. Who's to say that I could not average 240 bowling at a premier house with a fresh lane pattern?
Exactly right.
And a brand new lane machine that puts out, my house shot that I really love.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like, in local areas, people know what those centers are.
Right.
And like when I grew up bowling scratch in our one center, we offered a 10-pin drop from other centers to bowl in our league because
exactly.
our house was not as high scoring statistically. It just was not. You come in and you average less. But we had the scratch league in town, and we had the incentive for people to come over and bowl, and we had a cap, a very low cap. When we started, it was like 615 for trios.
Right.
And then, you know, it's bounced around. It went to like 620, and then it went to like 605, then it went to 620 again. And so it's just based off of, you know, what's out there and what the teams are, what the actual team average is for all the teams combined.
Right.
And they figure it out. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, there's a solution to all of this. No, I mean, it really is. I mean, if you want to talk about, no. If you want to talk about league, there's a solution. Okay, you put a maximum handicap and a maximum cap. So if you cap the team and you cap the maximum handicap, the guy can't dump below that certain handicap, and it's never going to make it back up. You can't sandbag because your team cap is going to be affected by it too. You can't come back.
But they're only establishing in those leagues. They're not trying to win anything out of those leagues. That's just their place to get their average set.
Okay, so they have an average that's set. But then you go bowling a tournament, okay, and the guy comes out of that house. Now, if it's local, you know the guy's average is low because he bowls in that house. There's centers here that are like that, right? How much do you let the guy get away with it? Okay, and I'll give you an example. We have a tournament down here, the Jingle Bells, or the 4th of July one. It runs 5-6 days during the holiday.
Jingle bells, jingle
Guy comes in, and we don't know him, and he's handicapped on 170 or whatever he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he crushes the brackets.
Suspect,
right? Okay. And he posts a decent score because he crushed the brackets.
Mm-hmm.
And he re-enters.
Okay.
If that's not a red flag, nothing is.
Oh, it's absolutely a red flag.
Okay, so you re-rate him now.
Absolutely, 100%.
Immediately.
No questions asked. You did it once, great. All right,
you got away with it for one squad. You got away with it one squad, and you popped the score. Okay, now what?
Yeah, you make him scratch.
Right. Now what does he do? He doesn't bowl.
Cool. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
And when he goes into the finals, he goes in at scratch.
Yeah.
Right. That fixes the problem. Why aren't people doing that?
I've seen that in the past with certain megabucks where, you know, they had a 205 and under division.
Yep.
Where people got kicked out of that division after they threw like one shot or while they were warming up. Like, hey, you can't be in 205 anymore.
Exactly. You're out.
Here's your money back, or you can go into the open division.
So why don't people do that? See, the problem is not the problem. The problem is there's no policing the problem.
Yeah. Maybe you should start an organization.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know, to combat the sandbagging alliance. Something we'll come up with something better. It's hard to do it on the spot.
Right. But just skimming through the comments, the word sandbagging has come up a million times. We know it, but we don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard to control. You can let the guy get away with it one time.
Mm-hmm.
You know as well as I do, I can watch you throw 3 shots and I can tell you about what you average.
Yeah.
Now
you are not a 180.
Exactly.
Let's be for real here.
Right. I may not catch exactly because you may miss a bunch of spares and that makes you 210.
Yeah.
But you're not 180.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's your money back. Here's all your bracket entries back.
Right. Done.
You're good.
Right.
You can't get
but tournament directors don't do that. The fear of losing an entry. You know, all you have to do, if you got a new face show up and the guy comes up to the bracket table, gets in it, and he's got a low average, go out and watch him throw a couple of shots in practice. You'll know right away what he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you keep an eye on him.
Yeah. You need people for that.
That's it.
It's not that difficult. I mean, to see skill.
Right.
You know, for most people, the difference between a 180 versus a 220 is miles apart.
Absolutely.
It is a Grand Canyon as far as technique and roll.
And people do not want to police it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, it's not the problem isn't the sandbagging, it's policing it. You know, you let people get away with it one time. I got it. But then don't do it again. And there's a couple of ways. Limit the amount of brackets you can get in.
Cap that, right? Yeah, you get rid of the incentive of being able to
to
do that.
To steal. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
There's no all-in button.
No.
It's like handicap brackets.
Right.
Cap it at whatever you want. 8.
Yeah. I mean, they do that at nationals. You capped.
Well, yeah, it's an unrealistic number for.
Wasn't it 40?
No, I mean, there's no, it's more than that.
Is it?
It's like for the $5 brackets, it's like 100.
Oh, is it? I didn't realize it was that many.
For each way. For each way.
Okay, I thought it was 40. Okay.
I mean, to go all in just in the $5 front and back, that's $1,000.
I got you.
Or I think it's 100. It might be 200. I don't even know the number. I didn't. It's 100.
Okay, but it might be
100. Okay, yeah.
But you're bowling on a challenge shot too.
You are absolutely.
You know,
so everybody's bowling on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you got different divisions. You can avoid certain divisions.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they have senior, super senior, in those
165 and below, regular, and
classified brackets,
right, regular and standard.
Yeah,
so you can avoid a lot of that.
But they're all scratch. That's the thing. They're all scratch.
Right.
The USBC Open is better policed in that manner because they're going off of the handicap, or not the handicap, but the average of what you bowled in that
27
tournament.
games. Right, 27 games, right? Yeah, exactly. But as far as a stranger walking into your tournament on a Sunday afternoon.
But also, I think, in the USBC Open, say you come in and the last 27 games, it puts you in, a regular or classified division, right?
Yeah.
And then you go home and you book 220 all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Then when you come back in, they're going to ask the question, is this number different off the conversion chart based on what you bowled? Is it higher than X amount of pins? I think there's a number there.
I don't know if they do that if you have 27 games.
I think that they do. Because
I don't know.
I think that they do because they're on the green sheet. I think you have to enter. It's like, okay, here's your average for 27 games. Okay, say in that instance for the classified guy, say it's 160, right?
Right.
The under or
right.
whatever.
Right.
And they go to 220, and the conversion is 190 now. Is this more than 10 pins higher?
I don't know.
You
might be right.
Yeah, I think that they do. Yeah, I'm almost certain that they do.
Right. But as far as the local tournaments, it's just a matter of the tournament director wanting to police it. Number one, cap the brackets. Make it less desirable for the guy to go in and steal every squad before you can catch him.
That's where it's hard for a tournament director to say that because, all right, say they cap the brackets now, instead of filling 50 brackets, they can only fill 10.
I understand.
So
the culprit is not the sandbagger per se. It's the people who are too lazy to monitor it, or they're driven by the money that they don't care. That's what you're telling me.
Well,
right? You're telling me that the tournament director doesn't care because it's his money that's being taken away.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it, yeah, because they don't want to lower the amount of entries in there because that's less. Right. I mean, they're not working for free, obviously.
Well, but yeah, if you go out to the military tournament or the high roller senior high roller tournament or the high roller tournaments, my buddy Buzzy Goodman runs it, and he caps it. You can only get in, I think, 40 brackets.
That's still a lot.
I understand. It may be less than that. Maybe it's 20. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Yeah, that's.
Well, what I'm saying is this way you're not the same person's not catching everybody.
They can't get 100 plus, or they can't say if they fill 200 brackets, they can't get in 200. They can only get in 10th of the brackets.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that you're not dealing with that.
Cap the handicap brackets only. That's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Scratch,
there's a way to fix it. It's not the sandbag. And I understand people commenting, well, people establish low averages so they have a tournament average that's lower. I got it.
Yeah.
But you can
everybody wants an advantage so they can make more money, right? Whatever side you're on, whatever.
Right.
So rather than put in the time and dedicate your skill set to getting better,
right,
and better than everybody in the center, regardless of the handicap or whatever, they'd rather not do that. They'd rather be able to bowl to a level that's there, but figure out a way to scam. They want to
Well, and you're
cheat
right.
the
It's a
system.
scam. Absolutely right. And there's
It's
going
a
to be some
scam.
that do that. How widespread do you think that is?
That's what we need to do. Our coalition for the sandbagging has to scam, SCAM. We'll come up with the perfect.
Yeah, the acronyms.
Yeah, there you
So,
go.
I mean, what do you think? Seriously, do you think the percentage of scammers, how high do you think that is? Is it that big of a plague?
It only
Or
takes
is it?
what is the old saying goes? A few bad apples.
That's exactly what I'm trying
One
to say.
bad apple ruins a bunch.
It's a whole bunch, right?
Yeah.
If it's one or two people, fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That sounded pretty Italian gangster of you.
Well, it did. You fixed the problem.
I need you to take care of something for me. I heard you
got a guy.
I heard you paint houses.
I got a guy. I mean, to me, if it's a handicap tournament, then you should cater to the handicap bowlers. If you have a guy that's cheating your handicap bowlers, your clientele, get rid of him.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I get a handicap side pot in our league every week.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that?
It's $1. It's $1. You know how many times I usually win it?
Yeah.
Say we bowl 30 weeks, so 90 games. How many times do you think I won it in the whole season?
10.
No, not even close.
Really? See, so there you go.
Maybe
right.
4, maybe 5. I would say 4 or 5, somewhere in there.
Right.
But
no, I understand.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and it pays $9 a game, $10 a game at most, because there's only 30 people in the league.
Right. Yep.
But no, it takes a big game to win it. Like, because someone, it's based off of 220.
Right.
And it's 90%. So say a 180 average shoots a great game. They shoot 240. That's great.
Yep.
I shoot 270 and I lose.
Yeah.
It's happened. It's
happened. Right. Exactly. But again, it's only $1. So nobody's in this coming. I'm going to join that league so I can win the $1.
Nobody's scamming it. There's no.
Right.
No one's getting rich off of that.
Yeah. It's the brackets, and especially in the big tournaments, it's the brackets that cause that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You realize you got to think of it this way. Even if the guy is a scammer and he's a dumper sandbagger, it's still hard to win a tournament.
Yeah.
It's hard to win the tournament.
Yeah, they don't want to win. Maybe they do.
Well, I'm just saying it's still hard to win that tournament. It's not like I'm suddenly automatically going to do it.
There was a tournament in the Northwest that was insanely popular. I'm sure it still goes on.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't even be above 205 to get in. It was a 9-pin tournament.
Right.
So it wasn't even like regular whatever.
Yeah, it was no tap, right? Yeah.
But you know how many people were bowling below their means to get in under that 205 so they can bowl this thing?
Really?
They were salivating because the prizes were so good and so lucrative.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, you get a good turnout of these events, you can rake. You can go in there and rake.
Sure.
But anytime you make it an incentive for people to cheat and scam,
exactly.
There's gonna be a few that do it.
Yeah.
It's not everybody.
The only reason I keep harping on the brackets is because it's an instant payout.
Right there, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's instant. Here it is. I put 500 in, I got 1,000 back. I'm gonna go again. So
all right. Let's we're running pretty late here. Let's do a top 5.
All right.
And then let's get to the what are we talking about today? The other thing. The wheel. So, there's been when we're on the topic of handicap and rule changes and all this other stuff going on, I'd love to come up with some changes. I'd love to see universally across leagues that I really think would help incentivize people to have more fun in league and just enjoy the sport, to really enjoy the sport about why they certify. Here we go. Number 5. No more smoke breaks between games, or when you said between frames.
We got guys here to run out in between frames.
If you can't last 3 hours without smoking,
I know.
That's rough. That is so rough.
I agree.
Goodness. So no more smoke breaks between games. Nobody wants to wait for you. Number 4, shot clock, just like in baseball. Nobody wants a Statue of Liberty on the approach. Get up there, throw your shot.
I'm going to tell you a funny story with that. I got to tell you this story. So there's in my Tuesday night league a couple of years ago, there was this team. They were notoriously slow, and I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I had to set my DVR to watch the Late Late Show when I got home. That's how slow they were, and it's a 7:00 league. So they were so slow, and the one year we got next to them. My team was next to them the whole year. And because they're slow, they slow you down. Guys stand on the approach forever. They're not, So the following year, we go to the captain's meeting, and I go to pick the number. And the number I picked was next to theirs. And because I know people, I was able to put my number back and get another number. I couldn't go 2 years in a row next to that team. We timed one of the guys. It was literally 5 minutes he took from when he left his seat to when he got back to it.
That is so much time.
Yes. I started the clock when he got out of his seat.
That's 3 hours of bowling just for him.
Just for him. Right. Right, exactly. 5 minutes it took him to get out of his seat, And of course, he was an interchangeable thumber, too, who never did it after he was done bowling. He waited. You get it. Right, exactly.
Well, in our, we don't have enough room on the rack to even, we have to go grab the other ball anyway. So I'm an interchangeable guy, too. So
yeah, but don't you change it after you're done? Or do you wait till you go back up again?
What do you mean after I'm done?
When you ball, you spare ball. Well, you don't have a spare ball.
I got a urethane ball I use for spares.
Okay, don't you change the thumb after you shoot your spare? Or do you wait till you go for your strike ball again? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're an interchangeable thumber guy. Okay, you're one of those.
Yeah.
Throw your shot.
I do it fast.
Back, change it.
I'm fast. I'm fast. All right. We're good. Number three.
This
is more of an incentive. I think the houses should run. They should run promotions if you shoot a big game.
Yeah.
This is the kind of sandbagging I'd give. This would eliminate sandbagging, in my opinion.
You get 50% off. You should do 50, of course, right?
50% off of chicken strips or shrimp baskets if you shoot 250. Or hey, 50% off of draft beer if you shoot a 250 game. Love it. I mean, that would incentivize me to even average even higher. I'd be like, oh, if I get that last hit in the 10th and I need the number, it's like chicken strips. Here we go. All right, number 2, mandatory soundproof fry-out room with your own ball return. You can rent time in there between shots and between games.
You have to rent that room out.
Yep. You can only book it for a maximum of 2 minutes.
You can even put those dollar slide things in. That you put the dollar, it sucks it in. You go in there, the door opens.
Yep. No double occupancy, just one. Put on your goggles.
That's it.
And go take it out on the ball return. It's made out of a material that can't be broken. Just go have at it. And it should be live streamed the whole time. The center should live stream that.
Oh yeah, you can see the guy really.
They get all sorts of super chats from that. They get all sorts of crazy stuff in there. All right, number 1, top 5 rule change I'd love to see for league. If you don't have a purple hammer, you have to wear a dunce cap. That way we can identify you.
We know who you are.
That's what we need to do. That should be the shame for sandbaggers. They get caught. They have to wear a dunce cap and be escorted out of the building. You got to bring back
add purple hammer to the wheel.
Purple hammer, just a specific purple hammer to the wheel.
Yeah,
I like it.
In honor of the USBC.
The honor. All right. Well, I think we've had a great discussion. I think it's time to pick a winner. What do you say?
I think so. Let me get my clock out.
Go get your clock out. I need to type the name in.
And I'll look at the responses. If I can respond to any, I will.
Yeah. I saw 80% of the comments were you can't do math very well, Phil.
I know I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Talking about handicap, you can't even get the handicap right.
I couldn't even get the handicap right. I do apologize for that mistake.
It was a heartfelt apology, and I know we all felt it.
Yeah, I really care.
All right. We have a
Who's
winner.
the winner? Can you say the name?
I can say the first name.
Oh, man.
And it's back to back that we have a Philip as a winner.
Really?
Yeah. but I
Who
can't
is
say
it?
the
Not a
last
winner.
name.
Not a winner.
Contestant. Sorry,
Contestant.
my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Winner, the contestant this week
Is
Philip
how on earth can you even pick that name? Are you kidding me?
Vahanic. If I said that right, give me a thumbs up. If I didn't say it right, give me grace.
I can't even press the button.
Press the button.
I did.
Philip Vahanic. Vahanic? I'm guessing Vahanic. Are you there, Philip? Someone says, "Hey, that's me," with the name Tron. I don't believe that. Actually, you know what? Take that back because the email is actually Tron. That's funny.
And is that how you pronounce the name? Give us a thumb up if it's Vahanic.
Yeah. Is it Vahanic? How do you say it? We need it a little dumbed down.
Maybe
for
the
us.
V is silent.
Vahanic. Yeah.
Maybe his last name is Hank.
All right, Tron. What's the number in your email just so I can make sure? What do you say?
What did he say?
Well, his email starts with that, Tron. I just need to know the number. Just make sure.
All right.
Yep. There you
That's
go.
him.
101.
And is that how you say your name?
I don't know. We'll never find out, I guess.
All right. I'd like to find out.
All right. That's it.
A lot of comments,
got it.
man. Wow.
All right. Here we go. You know how the rules go. Best of luck.
We're hoping.
I'm hoping for something here. Let's go.
A grip sack whammy.
If he gets a whammy, you know what happens.
I would take the top off right now.
Here we go. Oh, that one hurt my hand.
Uh-oh.
We haven't had a three-ball arsenal in forever. I hope it hits.
I know we haven't.
Uh-oh, here comes the whammy.
No. Unbelievable. We're on fire with the whammy. The Miguel, the curse of the Miguel.
You got Miguel. You know what that means.
You pick another one?
Hopefully we can pick a name that is suitable for your liking.
Why don't you pick one of your relatives, like a Smith?
I tried. All right, here we go.
Sorry, Philip.
All right, let's pick another winner.
Oh, man. Everybody's cheering. I see a lot of claps going up in the chat.
All right, we got it. And I can definitely say this name. Let's hide this.
You can say the name, man. All right.
This might actually be a friend of mine. His name sounds familiar.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
Hopefully this person's not on staff, though. We're about to find out.
We are.
All right. Are we ready for the second winner, Phil?
I'm ready.
The second contestant today is David Goodwin.
David Goodwin. Come on down.
David Goodwin, are you on staff with Brunswick Brands? Are you, David Goodwin?
David Goodwin.
What do we got?
Goodwin.
Heavy whammies again. It's not going to be a very good win. He says, "Hey, finally got one." Let's see.
David.
Let's see what we got here. He says, "Haha, yeah, right. Hey, finally got one." All right, the chat goes really fast.
Yeah.
DRG19841. Is that you, David Goodwin? What's the number in your email? You have a 2-digit number. I should have just said you have a number, but I'm giving you I'm giving you a 99 chance here. What's the number? No, I see. No, you're all right. There we go. Got it. Yeah.
All right, David.
You know the rules.
You know the rules.
Hopefully, you are not lucky number 7 of the Miguel whammy.
Lucky number 7 of the Miguel whammy.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're ready. Spin it.
If we get another whammy, we're done, right?
Yes, we are. 2 whammies and we're out. Oh, no, not again.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh.
Shirt. You want to keep the shirt?
We'll
Cool
go for
Perception reality shirt.
And one of the other shirts, right? You can pick.
Yeah, you can pick the other.
Yeah.
You know, the ones we've come up with on the show here.
Yeah. Or
you can spin again. What's it
again?
Do? Nobody keeps the shirt. Nobody wants our shirt.
I know. The shirts are nice. They really are comfortable, too.
I know. That's the best merch on the internet. All right. He says fortune favors the bold. What does that mean? He says respin.
And he's spinning. Fortune favors the bold.
I mean, it's not very bold of you to throw back a shirt.
Yeah, like I gave up the shirt. The shoes last week were bold.
That was bold. All right.
That was a bold move.
Let's do it. Good luck.
All right, here we go.
All right. Let's see if this is a good win or a bad loss.
A bad win or a bad spin. You could spin, bad spin. Here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, new shoes.
New shoes. Very nice play. Well played.
What a smart play.
That was a smart play on your part. New shoes, and they're really good. They're actually not new. They're the same shoes we were going to give away last week.
Yeah, it's coming out of the same pot there. It's just, we'll just repackage them and put a new label on it.
So these shoes are size 6, right-handed.
Narrow.
Narrow.
6N. There you go. He says, nice. My shoes are getting worn out. Oh, great. I'm glad we can get you set up for the new league season. So you can have your choice of any Brunswick or Hammer shoes.
Hammer shoes.
Because there are no Radical shoes.
No.
And
bowling balls.
Yeah. So that's it for today, isn't it?
Yeah. And we have balls to talk about next week.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll let everybody know.
All right. If not, well, we'd like to get some topics too.
Oh, yeah. Topics would be helpful. If you got topics, put them in the comments in either Facebook or not in the chat on YouTube. If you can get in there in the actual video and put a comment in there with different ideas, we'd love to hear it.
Yep. We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, till next week.
Till next week, guys and girls and Nick. Thank you.
I don't fit in. Okay.
Well, you did. You have your own category.
Awesome.
At least you don't have a pronoun. Next week, we'll be back. Same time.
Same bat channel.
Same bat channel. We'll see you guys. Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.